Saluti, saluti, welcome back to Root Double. Woo! Last time, we pretty much had a long discussion and realized that the only way to solve all these goddamn mysteries is to reactivate Watase's memory. Oh boy, hello Void Dweller. That's a really risky idea. And, wowzers, and I think I understand why we haven't had any choices yet, and where all the endings are gonna come from. Probably from this section right here. Oh my god. Okay. I think I know what this is leading up to, and that the choices are basically all about influencing someone's memories, whether we're playing as Natsuhiko inside Watase or Yuri inside Natsuhiko. And now we're doing Natsuhiko inside Watase again for the final showdown here. And how, depending on how we influence his memories, although, are we gonna get a new Enneagram for this? Because, like, very few of the characters that are on the Enneagram would show up in his memories, I think, besides mainly just Kazumi. Maybe June, but I can't imagine anyone else that we know would show up in his memory, so we might get a brand new Enneagram for him. But, yeah, this is gonna be tricky, and I have a feeling it's probably where we're going to get all our alternate endings from. Some of them will probably involve Watase just murdering us, straight up. Oh, but 16 years ago, when Watase was just 16 years old. Hello, Zarmagus. Welcome to the stream. That day, Watase had been quietly reading a book in his room as he listened to classical music. Ah! Dude! Classical, like, orchestral, I should say, is one of the genres of music I loved to listen to as a teenager. I loved, honestly, my favorite things were like, John Williams and, like, symphonic, like, there's a wonderful album of an anime that's not that good, like Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny, but the music, I loved listening to it over and over and over. And there was a collection of it called Symphony Seed that, I don't know if you can still find it. You can probably find it in, irreputable places, but Symphony Seed is just absolutely an amazing listen that just sets your imagination on fire. But anyway, as we're going along with that sense of nostalgia, oh, there's probably like maybe his sister, I think. He heard her cheery voice play back in his ears. Her name is Wataru! Oh my god, that's so cute! Watase! Watase's calm, relaxing time was completely annihilated by that voice. Oh, great. Her again. This is also paralleling the tutorial that we got way back in the beginning of Route B. Watase turned around to see a girl whose face resembled his own. Yep, it's his sister. Wataru. Oh, come on, Wataru. I don't think the whole neighborhood quite heard that one. Something up? Look outside. Isn't the weather just wonderful? Huh, wait, that's it? Quit burying your head in those textbooks and come outside and play with me. Oh god. Even though I'm the older sibling, I used to do this to my sister all the time. Like, come on. I'm like, come on, let's go out. I'll buy you lunch. And she got so fed up when sometimes she just wanted to stay inside. Oh god. Sorry, dude.
天気いいから遊びに行くって子供じゃあるまいし。
No, playing outside just because the weather's nice is something kids do.
Yeah, they do kind of remind me of Estelle and Joshua. GAs.
いいからいいから部屋にばっかりこもってると腐っちゃうよ。
Don't be a spoiled sport. You're gonna grow a mold if you stay cooped up in this room forever. Wataru forcefully pried Watase away from his desk.
おい
Hey!
ほらほら急いで。市外に出るんだから早く支度してね。
Come on, let's get a move on. We're gonna go to the city, so hurry up and get your things.
分かったよ。ちょっと待ってろ。
Oh gosh. Dude, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry all those times I dragged you outside. Oh my god.
Okay, fine, just give me a sec.
Watase tried persisting her for a short while, but he soon caved in. He knew better by now than to go against Wataru whenever she wanted to do something. Oh, he grew up here. The gentle sunlight bathed the city streets. Watase and Wataru walked side by side in that weather.
実にいい日和だね。世界も輝いて見えるね。
It really is such a nice day. Huh? Feels like the whole world's shining.
そうだな。
I guess.
Watase replied to Wataru's overjoyed voice with an apathetic mutter. She is older! Oh my god! So is that an older sister thing to do? Oh! I didn't expect it, but I guess, yeah, Watase is 16 here. But she was his older twin sister. Oh, I guess they're not identical twins. Yeah. Though she was his older twin sister and is almost the exact same face as him, their personalities could not be any more different. Watase was an indoors person who liked spending his days off reading books. That's why the only reason he was out of the house right now is because Wataru had taken him out around town.
で、なんで町に行くって？用事でもあんのか？
I know GAs, and they're doing the exact same things they still are, 16 years later.
So, why'd you want to go to the city? Need to do something here?
いや、バイト代入ったからさ、あんたになんか買ってあげようと思ってね。
Nah, just figured I'd go and look and see if there's anything I can get for you. Just got my latest paycheck from my part-time job, so it's on me.
ああ、じゃあ本屋でなんか文庫本でも。
Oh, yeah, that is true. It would be impossible for her to be identical twins. Yeah.
Ugh. Then maybe some paperbacks from the bookstore would be nice?
ダメダメそんなのおごりがいがないよ。どうせ買うならもっと買って楽しい。
My God, like I normally love staying inside, but literally the only time I usually ever want to go out was to hang out with my sister. And we would go to a restaurant and just get something to read back then, because back then in my college days, we didn't really have internet on the phone was not a thing yet. It feels like the fucking Stone Age, but we would she would bring her drawing pad, like, 'cause she's an artist, and I would bring some books and shit like that, like usually video game strategy guides, and we would also talk about ideas for stories and everything. Like, I normally am a homebody. I will stay indoors unless I absolutely have to go out. But if I'm gonna go out to eat with someone that I care about, then I would love to do that as many times as possible.
No.
No and no. That'll kill the whole purpose of me treating you. You need something that will actually have fun buying.
そうだ、今日はお姉ちゃんがあんたに服を買ってあげよう。
I know. How about your big sis fix out some clothes for you?
いいよ別に。
Huh? No, you don't need to.
いいからいいから、あんた素材はいいんだからちゃんとおしゃれしないと。
Why not? You've actually got some nice looks to start out with, so you can't let it go to waste by being plain all the time.
それって遠回しに自分を。
I knew it! I fucking knew it! Oh my god, I knew I was gonna say that!
Is that your subtle way of complimenting yourself?
そういう見方もあるかもね。
I guess you could look at it that way too. Watase walked with a clear destination in mind as they had that talk. She took Watase to a cheap, trendy clothes shop. Yes! Oh my god, H&M! And bought him all sorts of clothes. They left the store with Watase covered in his new apparel, and with Watase looking at him approvingly. Although she doesn't look approvingly in this bride.
上出来。我が弟ながら素敵だわ。
Yeah, it's perfect! You're looking pretty sharp there, if I do say so myself.
そうかね。
Think so?
Watase had never been particularly mindful of what he wore. He just didn't think it was all that important.
まあいいや。それより腹減ったし、なんか食いに行こうぜ。
Whatever. Anyway, I'm starving. Let's get a bite to eat.
それじゃあ今度はあんたのおごりね。
Okay then. But it's on you this time, you hear? You're the one that dragged him out, what to do? Like what? We would usually split the bill. That's what me and my sister would do. And basically, what we kind of thrived on for a good long while was that in those days, TGI Fridays had a survey on the back of every receipt. And if you completed that phone survey, you could write down a particular number on your receipt to cash it in for a free appetizer. And we would exploit the hell out of that. We would get like, because we realized that there could be really filling appetizers. So what we would do is get our drinks and 2 big appetizers and just share it all. And then we would use that coupon each time for a free appetizer. And we would get like this whole meal to share between ourselves for less than $15. It was fucking awesome. But they don't have that anymore. There's also there was also a restaurant called On the Border, where and they kept giving us new receipts there, so we would just fill it out each time. Where they give you free nacho chips and salsa when you came in. So really there and they were endless. So we would just get our drinks, that, and 1 big appetizer to share, and that would just fill us for a meal. It's like all sorts of ways to eat really nice food, but cheaply. Anyway, I'm rambling.
Huh? How fun. I guess I could do that.
やった。それじゃあいつものパスタ屋に行こう。
Oh my god! And we have Olive Garden breadsticks, of course! We did that too! Yeah, we did that with Olive Garden breadsticks as well. Yay! Now let's go to the usual pasta joint! Cheering happily and with a skip in her step, Wataru walked off. Watase followed behind her languidly.
しかしお前もさ、日曜に弟と遊んでていいのかよ。
Dude! Hanging out with your sibling is awesome.
Are you sure you want to be spending your Sunday hanging out with your brother?
いいじゃん。素晴らしい休日じゃん。
Why not? It's a really beautiful day and it's the weekend.
彼氏とかいねえのか？
You don't have a boyfriend or anything?
そんなもんいらないもん。私には可愛い弟がいるからね。
I don't need someone like that. Not when you've got my cute little brother.
Ugh.
なんだその反応。可愛くない。
He was with that reaction. Not cute at all. Watase let out a wry laugh at Watsu's melodramatic voice. The twins then finished eating. They checked the bookstore afterwards and looked at some new novels. That's what we did! Hello, Evles. Welcome to the stream. We went to Borders, and when that existed, y'all probably barely even remember that there was another bookstore besides Barnes & Noble's called Borders. But we went to Borders and Barnes & Noble and looked at all the manga and the you know, the movies and music sections. It's like, oh my god, that's what we always did afterward. Oh, Jesus fuck. Oh my god. Looked at some novels, and before they knew it, the sun was coming down. Oh my god! You remember Borders? I do too. I miss Borders. Now it's just Barnes & Nobles, and they don't even have that in Australia. There's only one big bookstore called Dimox, and it's basically, there's only one of them around, and it's only in the city, and it's basically not even half the size of one of the Borders that, I mean Barnes & Nobles that I had in my freaking suburb back in New Jersey. Fucking hell. The plus side is Dimox looks around the same, like it looks the same inside as a Barnes & Noble. But, so that's quite nostalgic, but it's a bummer. It's a bummer that there's not more of them.
It's gonna get dark real soon. Shouldn't we be heading home?
だね。お母さんたちに何も言わないで出てきたし。
Yeah, we left without telling Mom and Dad a thing after all. The twins decided to walk home to save money on bus fare. Oh my god, are they gonna meet on their way home? Watsu suddenly shouted as they passed the fire department.
渡瀬、あれ見てあれ。
What to say? Look at that!
Huh?
Watase looked into the station to see men wearing orange uniforms coming out.
なんだあれ。消防士にしちゃ派手だな。
Who are they? Look a bit too snazzy to be firefighters.
レスキュー隊だよ。
They're a rescue squad!
レスキュー隊？そんなもんうちの町にあったっけ？
A rescue squad? Our city has one of those?
ないよ。多分防災指導かなんかのために東京あたりから来たんじゃないかな。
Nah. They were probably just sent in from Tokyo or somewhere to give our firefighters some disaster prevention training.
ふーん。で、それがどうしたんだ？
Huh? So what's the big deal about him?
Well, yeah, thank you for dropping by, Atlas.
どうしたのじゃないよ。かっこいいじゃん。
What do you mean, what's the big deal? They're so cool! Hello, Guppy Force, welcome to the stream. I imagine that the rescue squad receives more training in saving people than fighting fires.
何渡る？ああいうマッチョ系が好みだったのか？
Huh? Oh, so you're into macho men like that.
違う。男性としての魅力がどうとかじゃなくって、純粋にあの仕事がかっこいいって言ってんだよ。
No, not that. I'm strictly talking about their job, not their appeal as men.
人の命を救うためなら、たとえ火の中、水の中。
Oh
憧れるでしょ、
God.
そういうの。
This is gonna be so fucking heartbreaking. I can already tell what's gonna happen. They go through hell and high water all to save lives. I really look up to people like that.
そうか？
Oh my god, I'm already crying. I already can tell what's gonna fucking happen.
Really?
でも今のところ女性のレスキュー隊員っていないんだよね。
But there's no female rescue workers out there now, huh?
なれるものなら私がその座につき
Oh
たい
my
よ。
god! If possible, I'd like to be one. Do you have like physical training?
なんだそれ、初耳だよ。お前そんなもんになろうと思ってたの
Oh
か。
my god, he's living out her dream for her. Oh my god.
What? That's news to me. You want a crappy job like that?
そんなもんとはなんだ。立派な職業じゃないか。
Hey, don't call it a crappy job. It's a wonderful line of work.
いや、失言。でも、レスキューね。
Sorry, tongue slipped. But a rescue worker, huh?
Watase carefully looked Wataru over. She certainly had the attitude, but she wasn't all that good at sports.
渡るには難しいと思うけどな。
I think it'll be tough for you.
なる前から心配してどうすんの。そういうことはなってから考えればいいんだよ。
She's so cool. Won't know until I actually make it to that point. Think about that stuff after I become one.
なれるかどうかが心配なんだよ。
I'm worried about if you can become one.
何さ渡せ。人の夢を否定するのは良くないよ。あんたにも夢くらいあるでしょ。
Hey, it's in really bad taste to stomp on people's dreams. Don't you have a dream?
特にない。
Not really.
へえ、寂しい子だね、お前は。
Huh? Man, you're a real lonely boy, you know that.
仕
She's
方な
not
いだ
just
ろ。
like me.
世は不景気だし、日本もどん詰まりだし。
She's way
日本
cooler
だって
than
たか
me.
が知れてるさ。
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's certainly, yeah. Lot to say. Yeah, that's definitely true.
Can't blame me on that one. The world's in recession and Japan's hitting a dead end. Future's not looking all that bright.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Oh, yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, oh, yeah, that you. God damn it, yeah. From Ever17. Yeah, she is a lot like you from Ever17.
考えすぎなんだよ、渡せは。
You're overthinking things, Watase. No, he isn't, Wataru.
考えすぎると臆病になって何にも考えられなくなっちゃうよ。
Do that and just wuss out to the point where you won't be able to make sense of anything anymore.
そういうもんかね。お前はむしろ少し考えてから動いた方がいいと思うけどな。
You really think so? Personally, I think it'd be better for you to think a bit before you act.
He'd rather not be thinking along the same lines as her. But Wataru paid no heed to Watase's disapproval as she lifted her hand in the air.
よーし、決めた。明日からランニングを始めよう。
Okay, I've made up my mind! Running training starts tomorrow!
いいね。三日坊主にならんよ。
Huh? Sure. Sounds nice. Try to stick with this one longer than 3 days.
何人事みたいに言ってんの？あんたも付き合ってよ。
Why are you talking like you're not a part of this? You're gonna train with me.
なんで俺が？
Huh? Why me?
一人より二人の方が長続きするでしょ。あんたももやしっこなんだからちょうどいいじゃん。
Cause it'll last longer with 2 people, right? Besides, it's the perfect way to get your scrawny body into shape, right?
めんどくせえな。
Sounds like a total pain in the ass.
Are we gonna get a young Watase sprite? We gotta. I really want to see what he looks like. But as usual, Wataru wouldn't change her mind no matter what he said. And she was right that Watase was out of shape. Is Watase fat? No, but she just called him scrawny. Ah!
まあいいか。ちょっとくらいは付き合うよ。
Okay, fine, I'll train with you. But only for a little while.
We don't get a young Watase sprite? Aw, that's lame. God damn it.
But only for a little while.
やった持つべきものは弟だわ
Yeah! See? This is what brothers are for. Wataru let a smile filled with happiness from the bottom of her heart. What she had talked about may not have been enough to call a dream. But it was the fact that she was looking forward to her own future. Her innocent and pure hopes for her future. Having nothing like that at all, Watase couldn't help but be a little jealous of his sister. After Wataru suggested the two of them start running together, Watase obeyed his sister's wishes and started trading with her. That said, there wasn't much of a system to it aside from run to some random spot in the city. 3 months had passed since then. Watase and Wataru were running together on that Sunday morning to train up their stamina. Going home. They'd run about 3 kilometers away from their house when...
渡せ待って
Watase, wait up! Wataru cried out to him.
なんだもう休憩かだらしねえな
What's this? Need to take a break already? Boy, how lame.
Watase stopped in his tracks, only to immediately hear his sister speak between her gasps for air. All of Watase's scenes titles are classical music pieces. Wow. That's crazy, Guffy Force.
ずるいなんで同じ顔して同じトレーニングしてんのに早くもこんな体力差が
This isn't fair. There's already such a huge gap in her stamina, even though we have the same face and do the same training.
さあな男女の差かあるいは卵が違うからか
Hell if I know. Could be our difference in gender, or maybe it's because we came from different eggs.
納得いかない
I refuse to accept that!
まあいいさ俺もちょっと喉乾いた軽く休憩しようぜ
Well, anyway, I guess I am a bit thirsty. So, sure, let's take a little break. I don't see why not.
Yay! Yes, they ran all the way to China. Absolutely, Guppy Forest. They somehow ran completely over the ocean. The twins walked up to a nearby vending machine and bought sports drinks. They rested up as they drank them down. Look, only to hear strange voices from somewhere. Oh boy.
Citizens of Rokame, lend me your ears. We are the citizen group known as the Anti-BC League. Huh?
Hello, D. Von Beagle. Welcome to the stream.
なんだろう
What's all the commotion? I looked at their direction. The voices found men in suits standing in front of a building. One of them was giving some sort of speech with a megaphone in hand.
We are the voices of all who object against the managers of the PRC. We, the people, have been forced to pay heavy taxes all in the name of researching this dubious technique known as BC. Are you content with turning a blind eye from this transgression without sufficient representation?
The man was shouting while facing the people walking down the street. Facing the large building not too far from him. There's a big research facility that had been built nearly 2 years ago. It was the Rokame City Parapsychology Research Center, or PRC for short. It appeared they were giving a speech condemning the facility right in front of it.
なんなんだありゃ。何わめいてんだ
The hell's this? What are they whining about?
ああ、近頃街を騒がせてる BC 排斥派の市民団体だね。
Ah, they must be that BC rejection citizen group that's been troubling the city recently.
BC?
BC.
知らないの？どえらい話題になってんのに。
Seriously? You'd never heard of it? It was all over the news. Psychic powers are real!
ちょっと前の話だけどさ、テレパシーとかの超能力が実在することが科学的に証明されたんだよ。
A little while back, they scientifically proved that psychic powers like telepathy really exist.
遠くの人に言葉を届ける力とか、人の心を読む力とか、そういう能力を総称して BC っていうらしいんだ。
It seems that such abilities like sending your voice to a faraway person or reading someone's mind were given the general term BC.
ああ、そういえば聞いたことがあるよ。
Oh yeah, I think I did hear about that.
Watase didn't watch TV, nor did he browse the internet all that much. What the fuck did he do? My god, Watase! Thus, he only had a scarce knowledge of topics he wasn't all that interested in.
ね、その BC とやらが実証されたって具体的にどんな風に
So, how exactly did they prove that this BC stuff actually exists?
まず2年前にフランスの科学者が超能力が使える人を遺伝子的に判別する方法を偶然発見したらしくてさ。
Yeah, reading, but like most of the stuff you read is, you know, most up to date on the internet or in some digital format, even in 2016. It just seems odd that he wouldn't take advantage of that. It would also be more convenient. But especially if you're reading for information's sake. Like, the only time, like, buying a book, I think you'd rather buy a book for leisure than, like a physical book, you know, to have it in your hands to collect. But, like, if you're reading for information's sake to study up, then it seems like that would be more of a thing you would get and do digitally. Oh, it's 2014. Oh, I see. Okay.
Let's see. Well,
Oh, yeah, that's what to do. Let's see. Well, it started 2 years ago when a French scientist accidentally discovered the way in which a person's genes determine if they're capable of using psychic powers.
まあ、その学説自体もしばらくはとんでも扱いされてたんだけど。
Well, people thought that his theory was total BS at first. But it wasn't BS. It was BC!
今年の頭にそこの超神経の研究チームがその説を裏付ける大発見をしてね。
But earlier this year, the research team in the PRC made a great discovery that supported his theory.
大発見って
what great discovery?
人の心の声を伝達する素粒子 BC 粒子ってのを発見したんだって。
They discovered elementary particles known as BC particles, that can be people's mental voices.
はあ、心の声ね。
Huh. Mental voices, huh? How
そ
about
れで
that?
超神経は大盛り上がりよ。これは科学の世界がひっくり返るような発見だ。この研究に力を入れていこうって。
The PRC was in a huge uproar after that. They said it was a discovery that completely revolutionized the world of science, and that they would put all their effort into researching it. Jeez. And then Washington gives the BC lecture all over again, taking up a whole episode. Oh my god, yeah, they could have just said narration to this, yeah. But they could have just like had a narration thing saying, you know, Watadu explained what BC was to Watase, blah 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 blah. Jeez.
6名市議会もそれを後押しして市の予算をバカスカつぎ込むことにしたんだとさ。
The Rokami City Council backed them up, but decided to invest truckloads of the city's budget into their research.
Huh.
Watase kept responding disinterestedly. He found it somewhat comical how adults were getting so worked up for the research of something as much of an enigma as ESP.
So that's what they do at this huge place?
Watase looked towards the PRC as he thought that. When you see a person in the facility, I bet it's Natsuhiko's mom. Oh. Wait. That can't be Salyu. A young woman was standing at a window on the 3rd floor because Salyu can't do BC. Is she, like, related to Salyu? A young woman was standing at a window on the 3rd floor.
That blonde. Is she a foreigner?
She looked down at the citizen group with dull eyes as they gave the speech. The group continued to give their Yeah, that's what I was thinking of before. So there's no way it could be Salyu, so... But she looks like, I guess she might be a relative of Salyu. The group continued to give their soapbox speech in a voice loud enough for the woman to hear it.
VC users from all over the globe, known as communicators, have been gathering in our city ever since the spring due to the PRC's research. But where did the budget required to invite them all come from to begin with? Is there even a need for this sort of research to be conducted in our beloved Rokume City to begin with? Well, we've got a message for you. Rokume City does not need a BC research center. We cannot acknowledge communicators as official citizens without discussion.
Watase felt exasperated at their hysteric cries.
しかし、なんであの市民団体とやらはあんな怒ってんだ?
But why are these guys getting so mad?
超神剣が何の研究しようが、超能力者集めようが関係ないじゃんか。
Research at the PRC and the gathering of experts has nothing to do with them.
それはなんだかんだ理由をつけてるけど。
Well, they give all sorts of reasons, but to be honest,
要はあの人たち怖いんだと思うよ。
I think it's because they're basically scared of those people. You know, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. People just gathering up on the latest minority they've heard about. Yada yada ipso fatso.
怖い？何が？
Scared? Why?
PC を使える人、コミュニケーターがこの町に集まってくることが。
Because a whole lot of communicators, people who can use BC that is, have been coming to the city.
自分にとってよくわからない研究がこの町で行われることがさ。
And the city's conducting research these people really don't understand.
なんでそんなに？
But why is it such a big deal for them?
いや、実は他の国ではこの BC 絡みの事件がちょこちょこ起こってるんだって。
Well, the thing is, there have been these BC-related incidents happening from time to time in other countries.
イギリスだかフランスだかではコミュニケーターの住んでいた家が焼き討ちにあったり、ひどい事件が起きたりしてんだよ。
For example, there have been cases of people in England and France burning down communicators' homes. Horrible incidents like that.
マジか。
You shitting me?
超能力者を恐れた一般人が超能力者を襲うなんて、まるでどっかの SF 小説みたいだな。
So ordinary people afraid of psychics attack the psychics themselves. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi novel. My god, I'm sure they've made an anime about this.
21世紀にもなってね。そういうのが実際起こるなんて信じられないよ。
Watsu, you poor sweet summer child. It's already the 21st century. Hard to believe that kind of stuff is happening for real. Yeah, in 2014 it would be. 2022, not so much. But when he thought about it carefully, Watsu found that he understood why people would be so afraid of mind readers. In more religious countries, those espers could perhaps even be seen as servants of the devil.
Scared, huh?
It also sounded like Rokume City and the PRC was gathering those communicators for their research. All are barely explaining a thing to the townspeople, including Watase.
ま、なんかわからんでもないな。あの市民団体の言うことも。
Well, I guess I can kind of see where the citizens group coming from.
何それ本気？
Hold on, you serious?
だってそうだろ？街のあちこちに心読めるやつなんかがいたら不気味じゃないか。
Well, yeah, I mean, don't you feel uncomfortable about guys who can read your mind being all around the city?
プライバシーもクソもなくなるし、おちおちスケベな妄想もできない。
Your privacy will go straight to hell and you forget about having any perverted fantasies.
I mean, in this universe, it wouldn't work that way because you need to be open to them.
するの？スケベな妄想。
Oh, so you have perverted fantasies, huh?
いやしないけど、まあ要するに何もうちの町でそんなもん研究しなくてもいいだろうって話だよ。
No, I don't. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that they don't have to do that kind of research in your city.
超能力者が実在しようがしまいが別に構わんが、六名士には集まらんで、どっかよその町に行ってくれってこった。
I don't really care if espers actually exist or not, but I'd prefer it if they all gathered in any city other than Rokume.
Watase did not look pleased at all by what Watase was saying.
案外あんたも心狭いね。
I'm surprised. I never thought you were so narrow-minded.
コミュニケーターって言ったって基本的には私たちと同じ普通の人間だよ。だったら別に集まってきたっていいじゃん。
When it comes down to it, communicators are just ordinary people like us, aren't they? So there's no real harm in them gathering here.
六名士はのどかで平和な町だし、よその国とかで迫害されたコミュニケーターもここに集まってくれば。
Rokume City is calm and peaceful. So if communicators who are persecuted in their own countries could gather here, then...
いや、だからこそだよ。
No, see, that's my point.
平和な町だからこそ、トラブルの種になるような人たちが来るのは困るってことだ。
It's because Rokume is such a peaceful city, having these potentially problematic guys come here is an issue.
もう、私はあれこれ考えすぎなんだよ、このビビリ。
Jeez, Watase, quit overthinking all this, you coward. Watase said that and turned away in a huff. Watase, I mean, said that.
And here comes the sulking.
なんだよ。なんでそんなにコミュニケーターだかの肩持つんだ。
What's gotten into you? Why are you siding with the communicators so much?
だってかわいそうでしょ。コミュニケーターだって好きでコミュニケーターとして生まれたわけじゃないんだよ。
Because I feel bad for them. Don't you? I mean, it's not like they chose to be born as communicators.
なのに普通の人と違うってだけでいじめられて守ってあげたくなるじゃん。
Yet they all get picked on just because they're different from ordinary people. That just makes me want to protect them.
また渡るの人のために何かしてやりたい病が出たか。そういうのをナイチンゲールコンプレックスって言うんだ。
And here we go, your savior complex is rearing its head again. They call that the Florence Nightingale complex.
何さ悪い？それが私の性分なんだよ。
So, something wrong with that? That's just the way I am.
レスキュー隊になりたいってのも要はそれで。
I mean, that's also basically why I want to be a rescue worker.
別に悪いことじゃねえけど、だからってなんでレスキュー隊になりたいんだ？
We're not saying anything's wrong with it, but in that case, why do you want to be a rescue worker?
まだしも看護師とかの方が向いてるんじゃないか？
Wouldn't you be better suited as a nurse or something?
The twins felt very comfortable with each other, so Watase had no problem bluntly speaking his mind to Wataru. They also always had these kinds of conversations, so Watadu answered him without sounding hurt in the slightest.
いや、自分でも短絡的だとは思うけど、私はさ、なりたいものがあるんだよ。
Well, even I think this is rather simplistic. But there's something I want to be.
分かってるよ。レスキュー隊だろ？
I know, rescue worker, right?
いや、
I think I know. Yeah. Yeah.
実は私、正義のヒーローになりたいんだよね。
No. How do I put it? Actually, I want to be a hero of justice.
正義のヒーロー？
A hero of justice?
Watase stared at Watadu in wonder from her sudden compassion.
正義のヒーローってレスキュー隊がそうなのか？
Are rescue workers really heroes of justice?
さっきの市民団体の話じゃないけどさ、
Well, this isn't really related to that group, but
世の中いろいろな正義があるよね。
there are all different kinds of justice in the world, aren't there?
急に何の話だ？
Whoa, where'd all this come from?
いいから聞いてよ。まず、あの市民団体の人たちは BC 排斥運動を自分の正義だと思ってるよね。
Just hear me out, okay? Anyway, that group considers taking action against BC as justice in their own eyes, right?
Yeah?
一方、超神権の人たちは多分 BC の研究をすることが正しいことだって信じてる。
On the other hand, the people of the PRC probably believe that researching BC is just.
コミュニケーターにも私たちにもそれぞれ個人の正義がある。
We all have our own personal sense of justice, communicator or not.
それぞれの正義について考えたり、個々の人に感情移入しちゃうと何が正義だか悪だか分かんなくなっちゃうんだよ。
When you take everyone's definition of justice into account and empathize with all those people, you can no longer tell what's just and what's evil.
まあ、お前はすぐ感情移入するからな。映画でも何でも見ればすぐ泣くし。
Well, that's because you have a habit of empathizing with others right away. You even cry when we watch movies and whatnot.
そうなんだよ。でもさ、諸々の正義や個人の価値観を飛び越えて。
That's right. But no matter what, the act of saving people, regardless of their value systems and personal definitions of justice,
人命を救うって行為は紛れもなく正しいことでしょ？
that's gotta be just any way you look at it, right?
うん、多分な。
Yeah, probably.
命を救うってことはその人の未来を守るってことだよ。
Saving someone's life means protecting their future.
それってすごく尊いことなんじゃないかなって思って。だからレスキュー隊になりたいって思ったんだ。
I just find that to be so incredibly noble, which is why I want to be a rescue worker.
まあ思いつきだし、別に命を救う系の仕事なら消防士でも看護師でもいいんだけど。
Well, it's just an idea. I guess I could be a firefighter or a nurse if all that matters to me is having a job that involves saving lives. Watase watched his sister bashfully speak before he muttered in approval.
なるほど。うん。お前の考えは理解できたよ。
I see. Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
分かってもらえた？
So you understand?
ああ、感服もした。でも、一点気になることが。
Yeah, I think it's admirable. But there's just one thing bugging me.
なんでよりにもよってレスキュー隊なんだ？
Did it have to be a rescue worker of all things?
言ったらなんだけど、お前体力あんまないし、運動神経も切れてんじゃん。
I feel personally attacked.
Hate to say it, but you've got horrible stamina and your reflexes suck.
Yeah, I know. Ah.
そんなお前がレスキュー隊なんかになったら、人を助ける前に自分の命を落としちまうぞ。
If you ever became a rescue worker, you'd be more likely to die before you could save anyone.
そうかもしれないけど、力不足の部分はやる気と根性でカバーすんだよ。
Well, maybe, but I make up for what I lack in strength with passion and spirit.
ボンクラな私でも身を削って頑張ればなんとかなるっしょ。
I bet even a total dunce like me could do something, but I just work myself to the bone and keep running forward.
身を削るって。
Oh wow, she's really cool.
Work myself to the bone. What do you?
大切なのは気持ちだよ。人の命を守るためなら自分の命も惜しくないっていう気持ち。
Wait, what? It's the feeling that counts. The feeling that my own life means nothing can be used to protect others' lives.
おい待て渡る。
Whoa, what to do? Whoa. This took a turn.
Hey, hold on, what to do?
Watase interrupted his sister with a bit of force in his voice.
自分の命も惜しくないなんてバカなこと言うな。
Whoa. What to do? That got really dark.
Quit saying stupid shit like my own life means nothing.
お前がそんなこと言ったら親父とお袋が泣くぞ。
Our old man and lady would cry if they ever heard that.
Watase gasped at the suddenly serious tone and speech her brother had adopted. What to do, I mean.
そうだね。特にお母さんを悲しませちゃダメだよね。
You're right. I'd really hate to make mom sad in particular.
当たり前だ。
Well, of course.
Watase and Watsu were fraternal twins, but they heard that their delivery had been quite the difficult one naturally. So much so that their mother's life had been in danger for a little while. It was for that reason that their parents showered them with love once they'd been safely born. Thus, it was only natural that Watase got angry about Watsu talking about her lone life, like it was nothing.
わかったよ。自分の命を軽んずるような発言はやめるよ。
Okay. I'll stop talking about my life so lightly.
ああ、それでいい。
Yeah, that's better.
でもさ、命を守る仕事に就くっていう夢は諦めないし、
But he won't give up my dream of working to protect lives.
どのみちあんたの身がピンチになったら、その時だけは私は命に変えてでもあんたを助けるよ。
At any rate, if your life were of grave danger, I'd save you in a heartbeat even if it cost me mine.
What?
お前、俺の話聞いてたか？そんなこと言ったらお袋が。
Weren't you listening to what I just said? The old lady would cry if she ever...
そのお母さんから生まれた者同士、守り合うくらいはいいじゃない？
We were both born from her, so there's nothing wrong with at least protecting each other, is there?
それにほら、私、あんたのお姉ちゃんだからさ。
And besides, I am your big sis, remember? Watase just shook his head in exasperation when he saw Watsu's beaming smile.
まあ、そんな日が来ないことを祈ってるよ。
Well, I just hope that day never comes.
そうだね。縁起でもないし。
Yeah, knock on wood. The twins smiled at each other.
さ、すっかり体が冷えちまった。ランニングの続きをしようぜ。
Okay, I think we cooled down under 100%. Shall we continue running?
帰りがてら競争しよ
Sure. Hurries you back home. Sound good?
う。負けた方、アイスおごりね。
The loser has to treat the winner to ice cream. Wouldn't that undo all the exercise you just did?
やめとけ。その賭けは成立しねえよ。
Quit while you're ahead. You'll never keep up that bet.
He said that and started running back towards their home. The apartment they lived in came into view after they run for about 2 kilometers. Watase and Watsu had been keeping up side by side, but
本席
I'll be going on ahead now. Watsu suddenly dashed ahead as she said that.
油断したね、渡せ。アイスはいただきだよ。
Don't get too cocky, Star Fox. That ice cream's all mine.
汚ねえぞ。
What? Hey, no fair!
Watase then sped up in an attempt to catch up to her. What the fuck? But then a car suddenly sped down a street from a side road. Uh-oh. Oh god. She's surely not gonna get icicad right here. Watsu froze in shock. The The driver slammed the brakes, but the car kept skidding towards Watadu without stopping. That thing's gonna run her over! Watase's body sprung into action the moment that thought crossed his mind. Watadu! Watase dashed toward Watadu with the force of a speeding bullet and pushed her aside. A second later, he felt an impact run near his thighs. Watase was sent flying by the car and soon crashed on the pavement. Oh my god! And this is why he was in the hospital. I see. Watase groaned as he laid face up in the street. His line of sight was completely filled with a beautiful orange sky. Watase! He heard Watadu crying out from him somewhere. For him. He then heard a car door opening, followed by the voice of a man who was apparently the driver. This is bad. Call an ambulance. Watase is gonna die. If it had been under any normal circumstances, Watase would have let out a sigh of exasperation at her cries.
I ain't gonna die, but my leg just hurt like hell.
He didn't feel like he was in any danger of dying. But though his leg hadn't hurt all that much at the moment of the impact, it had suddenly started to seethe with intense pain. His mind was growing fuzzy. Perhaps he'd suffered a concussion. The ambulance is on its way, so don't die, Watase!
What was all that ain't saving a heartbeat even having to cost me my life BS about? I was the one who ended up saving you. Some rescue that was.
And as he thought all that, Watase lost consciousness. After having saved Watadu from being run over by a car, Watase was hospitalized with a broken right femur. Though he was grateful to have his own room, thanks to the large sum the driver had paid as reparations, it seemed that Watadu had been more hurt by the incident than Watase. I'm so sorry, Watase. It's all my fault. Watadu burst into tears when she came to visit Watase and saw the cast the hospital had set on his leg. Watase spoke with a wave of the hand.
気にするなって。単なる骨折だし、後遺症が残るわけでもないしさ。
No, don't worry about it. It's just a broken leg. There doesn't seem to be any permanent damage.
そうならいいんだけど、いや、よくないけど。
I see. That's good to hear. Wait, no, not good, but... Watadu let out a heavy sigh.
なんで私ってやることなすことトラブルばっかり。
Why is it that all I do is cause trouble whenever I try to do something?
アホすぎなお姉ちゃんで弟的にも嫌になるでしょ。
You must hate having such a dumbass for a big sis, don't you?
だからそんなことないって。
Seriously, that's not true at all.
Watase spoke encouragingly to the totally dispirited Watadu.
そうしょげるなよ。渡るがへこんでるとつまんねえよ。
Don't be so hard on yourself. It's no fun seeing you so depressed.
だいたいランニングに付き合ったのは俺の意思だ。それで怪我しても俺の責任さ。
Besides, I was the one who voluntarily ran with you. So it's my fault that I got hurt.
でももう無理に誘うのはやめるね。私めんどくさがってたし。
You should stop forcing yourself to come. I mean, I know you think it's a total pain in the ass.
最初は確かにそうだったけど、
Well, at first I did, yeah, but not anymore.
俺もお前の夢とやらにちょっと付き合ってみたくなったんだよ。
Now I want to try and help you accomplish your dream.
Huh? Watase gave his sister a faint smile when he saw that stunned look on her face.
お前さ、能力的にはどうあれ立派だよ。
Watase, you can be so nice.
Doesn't matter what your physical abilities are, you're just still amazing.
人命を守る仕事に就きたいっていうしっかりした希望があって。
You have big dreams about getting a job that'll let you save lives.
俺はそういうのが全然ないからちょっと羨ましいんだ。
I'm a little jealous of you. I don't have anything like that at all.
俺はできることはあってもやりたいことってのが何にもないんだよ。
Yeah, he hasn't gone to college yet, so yeah, he hasn't even.
There are things I can do, but I don't have anything I want to do.
でもお前は俺と真逆だからな。あれこれやりたいことを見つけてはどんどんその分野に飛び込んでいく。
But you're the complete opposite. You find out what you want to do and you put everything you've got into it.
動機は単なる思いつきだったとしてもそれで3ヶ月毎日ランニングしたりさ。
I bet June reminds Watase a lot of what to do.
Even though your motive was just a spur of the moment idea. You've been running every day for 3 months because of it.
Oh wow, it's been 3 months.
物おじしなくて行動力もあって。だから俺もお前と一緒に行動したら何か見つかるかなと思ってな。
Honestly, Voidoler, if you want to go to college, that's great. You totally should. It's a great experience, but speaking from experience, it doesn't mean jack shit. People just hire whoever they want to hire. Like, there's just too many people for any kind of learning to make an actual difference. They just take whoever has like some kind of an in out of the pool of the people who have that knowledge. It just it feels like why should you even bother sometimes, you know? But enough about that, back to this story.
You're confident in yourself and don't hesitate to act. So if I felt that if I kept on hanging out with you, I might find something like that too.
そんな風に思ってくれてたの？
No way. That's what you've been thinking?
あ、ちょっとな。
Yeah, kinda.
私なんかでも渡瀬に羨まれたりするんだ。
So you're jealous of a weak little thing like me. Watase let out an embarrassed laugh, then looked at Watase and spoke.
でも渡瀬、そのうちあんたもきっとやりたいことくらい見つかるよ。
But you know, I'm sure that you'll find something you want to do too sooner or later.
そうかな。
You really think so?
あんたは何でもできる子なんだよ。あれこれ考える前に動けばきっとね。
I just know you're the kind of kid who can do anything he wants to. As long as you act before you think about every little thing, that is.
お前はもう少し考えて動いた方がいいけどな。
Aren't you the one who should think a little before you act?
それはもう反省しました。
I've already considered that, you know. Watase sighed when he heard that.
でも、まあありがとな。
But hey, thanks.
もっともやりたいことを見つけるのは足が治ってからだけどさ。
Though I think the whole looking for something I want to do thing will have to wait for after my leg heals up.
そうだね。それまで毎週お見舞いに来てあげる。
That's true. I'll come visit you every week until then.
いらねえよ。
No thanks.
なんだよ。見舞いに来てくれる彼女のいない渡瀬を気遣ってやってん
This,
じゃ
yeah,
ん。
was clearly before he even met Kazumi. Oh, come on! I'd feel bad if I didn't. Seeing as how you don't have a girlfriend to do that for you.
なんだと？お前こそ早く彼氏作れって。
What? You're the one who needs to hurry up and get a boyfriend already.
We're the same age, asshole. The twins then shared a laugh. The two of them chatted for a little while longer, and then the time came for Watadu to leave.
じゃあ今日はひとまず帰ろうかな。
Okay then. I should probably be heading home for today.
ああ、親父たちによろしくな。
Yeah, tell the old man and lady I said hi.
そんじゃあまたね、渡瀬。
All right. Okay then. See you later. Watadu then turned to leave the room. She looked so lonely from behind that Watase called out to her one more time.
渡る。
What to do?
何？
Yeah?
足治ったらまたランニングしような。なんならお前が
Oh
レスキュー
god, this
隊
is
になる
gonna
ま
be
で付き
so
合うから
fucking
さ。
sad.
Let's start running again once my leg heals up. If you'd like, I'll keep doing that with you until you become a bona fide rescue worker.
Watadu smiled brightly at that suggestion.
ありがとう、渡瀬。
Thanks, Watase. Watadu finally left the room with those words. And thus, Watase's peaceful life at the hospital went on for a while after that. It was a fairly simple life where he just spent his time either attending to people who came to visit him, or just eating, reading, and sleeping when alone. But one night, 8 days after Watadu had come to visit him, something very unexpected happened. Watase had woken up from a bizarre dream he'd had.
What was that all about?
In the dream, oh my god, he'd been in a town in some foreign country. He'd been desperately running for his life from the flames that were engulfing the town. But no matter how hard he ran, the flame just kept on chasing him. He was somehow sharing a vision of the past from one of the communicators that escaped. But no matter how hard he ran, the flames just kept chasing him. Watase was soon surrounded by flames and smoke that filled the air around him.
What a horrible dream. But why was he in a foreign country?
Watase then tried to go back to sleep as he vaguely wondered that. But at that moment, uh-oh. His nose caught the stench of what smelled like something burning. But why would Watadu be here in the middle of the night?
Am I dreaming again? No!
Watase suddenly sat right up. He wasn't dreaming. The stench of smoke was clearly all too real. With more than the fire alarm was echoing around him like crazy. A fire has broken out in the hospital. All patients and visitors, please evacuate as soon as possible. This is not a drill. Everyone in the facility, please evacuate as soon as possible. The robotic announcement is displaying the situation in a detached voice. Watase felt himself shaking like crazy at those words. Yeah, that is a really realistic fire alarm.
まずい。
Crap!
With the cast around his leg. Watase couldn't move at all. That meant when the fire reached his room.
I'm gonna die! Oh shit! I gotta get out of here!
Watase dragged his left leg and crept out of his bed. His room was on the 7th floor. He couldn't escape through the windows. And when he opened the door to his room... Oh, fuckleberries. The hallway was already consumed in flames. Watase frantically shut the door. He had no chance of weaving his way through the flames, with the condition his leg was in.
The nurse or someone doesn't get here before the fire does, then I'm...
誰か
Help!
誰かいないのか
Is anybody there?
助けてくれ誰か助けてくれ
Help me! Somebody help me!
And no one came by no matter what she yelled. The nurse call button wasn't responding either. Perhaps the doctors and nurses had abandoned Watase and the other patients and had already evacuated. It wasn't long before smoke began seeping around from around the edge of the shut door. Oh my god. How does Watsu get caught up in this so late at night? Watase coughed violently. He frantically opened the window, but the smoke was filling the room faster than it could escape. It only grew thicker as time continued to pass. Just then, Watase thought he heard something burst open. The fire had probably already reached the room.
I'm in deep shit here. If things stay the same, just a few minutes I'll be
Dead. The fear of death gradually weighed down on Watase's mind.
誰か
Someone!
He tried calling for help, but he couldn't speak anymore. With no other idea of what to do, Watase was about to break the window and jump out when... Watase! Oh my god. He heard her voice. How did she get here so fast? He turned around in shock to see Watase open the door and run in the room.
どうして
How?
病院から煙が上がってるのを見て助けに来たんだよ。
I came to save you when I saw the smoke rising from the hospital.
消防の到着が遅れてる。このままここで助けを待ってたら死んじゃう。
Firefighters are taking too long to get here. You'll die if you keep waiting in here for help.
逃げよう渡せ。
So let's get out of here.
Right.
There wasn't any time to think. Watase grabbed onto Wataru's shoulder and left his room. The hallways already wrapped up in flames. Twins made their way through them and ran away. The staircase was completely blocked by flames. Wataru and Watase were stuck on the 4th floor. Wataru broke into a violent coughing fit. She probably exhausted her stamina when dragging Watase through the fire.
If this keeps up, then Watsu will die too, all because of me.
Once he realized that, Watase forced himself to speak.
渡る
Watsu,
俺を置いて逃げろ
leave me and save yourself.
何言ってんの。そんなことできるわけない。
What are you saying? There's no way in hell I can do that!
あんたのピンチには命に変えてもあんたを助けるって言ったでしょ。
Didn't I tell you that if you were in grave danger, I'd save you and it cost me my life?
でもこのままじゃ二人とも
We'll both die at this rate.
お前だけならまだ逃げられるかもしれない
You might still have a chance to get out of here by yourself.
The light sparked in Wataru's eyes when she heard Watase mutter that.
渡せ。諦めちゃダメ。
Watase! You can't give up!
最後の瞬間まであがいてあがいて。
You have to keep on fighting on and on till the bitter end!
死ぬのはそれからにしよう。
If you want to die, you can do that later! Wataru shouted and tightened her grip around Watase's arm, then broke off into a mad dash. They soon discovered an emergency staircase that was undamaged by the fire. They ran down and soon found the exit to the hospital coming into view.
渡せ。出口だよ。
Oh, look! Watase's the exit!
あ
Right.
It was only a hair's breadth away. So what happened? They hadn't noticed earlier, but they could hear fire truck sirens closing in too.
We're saved.
He then tries to move toward the exit with Wataru as he thought that. Or did he oh. Then what does PC have to do with this? Only to hear the unpleasant sound of something creaking above them. He looked up in surprise to see cracks forming in the ceiling. Uh-oh. The cracks spread wider in an instant, causing the concrete ceiling to bend swiftly.
It's crumbling down.
As soon as Watase thought that.
渡せ。
Watase! Watsu pushed him toward the exit. Oh god. Watsu pushed him toward the exit. Watsu fell on the ground outside the hospital. What he saw before him was a perfect starry sky. What he heard was the roar of something collapsing. Oh my god. They didn't even get to share any last words. Huh. Watase looked in the hospital from the exit, where Watsu had been standing moments ago with now a burning pile of debris.
Wataru.
What to do?
No response.
Wataru!
What to do?
No response.
Wataru!
What to do?
Watsu screamed and limped over to the mountain of debris.
Wataru! いるんだろ? 返事してくれ!
What to do? You're still there, right? Answer me!
Wataru! Wataru!
What to do? What to do?
Before long, response appeared. Oh my god, in the form of a stream of blood falling out from under the debris.
Uso だろ. やめてくれよ. なんでこんな.
It can't be. Stop it. Why did this?
Watson began rapidly moving debris as he rambled incoherently in a hollow voice.
Wataru! Wataru!
What to do? What to do? What to do?
The debris was lit with flames, hot enough to burn anyone who touched it. Watson ignored the pain and kept picking up different debris and tossing it aside. He soon heard a voice from behind.
We've located a survivor.
It was probably a firefighter. Watson ignored them and kept working on his attempts to rescue Watson.
Hey, what are you doing?
The firefighter ran over to Watson after noticing something clearly wrong with the boy.
It's dangerous. Get back and catch fire.
The firefighter grabbed Watson by the shoulder. Watson shook off his hand and shouted,
邪魔すんな! 渡るが瓦礫の下にいるんだ!
Out of my way! Watson is under the debris!
この下に?
What? Someone's under this.
いや、だったら救助は我々が行う.
No. Then we'll take care of the rescue.
うるせえ! あんたらじゃ頼りにならねえ!
Shut up! I can't leave it to you guys!
あんたらがすぐ来なかったから! 渡るは! 渡るは!
This is all your fault! Because you didn't get here faster! What to do? What to do?
Watase's deranged screams echoed through the night sky. Watase was restrained shortly afterwards. I don't understand what this has to do with BC at all. The firefighters managed to pull Watase out from under the rubble. By that point, she had long since breathed her last. The great Rokumi City arson. That was what the events of that night would come to be called. September 16th, 2014. Fires broke out all at the same time at 15 different spots. Oh my god. Starting with the Rokumi City Hospital, various buildings such as civilian residences, public facilities, multi-tenant buildings, even the apartment building where Watase's family lived were indiscriminately set fire to and were burned down in that one single night. What the actual fuck? 118 casualties, 236 injured. Among the casualties, not only Watsu, but Watase's parents as well? Oh my god. The culprit was soon caught. But the crime was committed by an extremist group. It said the arson had been committed as a demonstration against the rapidly growing communicator population. But why would Watase blame the communicators? Well, Watase didn't care about any of that. He just couldn't come to grip with the fact that he lost everything in a single night. 2 months had passed. Watase stood still in front of the ruins of the burned down hospital.
This is where Watsu.
Though he thought that, he no longer had any tears to shed. Though the cast around his leg had already been removed, his emotional scars hadn't healed. We didn't even get to say anything to each other when she left. Why did she give up her life for someone like me? It pained him that he alone had lived while the rest of his family had died. Simply living felt like agony to him. Wanted to live for her dreams and the things she wanted to do. So why is it that someone with no hopes for the future like me survived instead of her? He's been asking himself that question endlessly for the last 2 months. He thought he might be able to find an answer if he came to this place, but naturally he didn't. Tell me what to do. What am I supposed to do now? The moment that thought crossed his mind, his cell phone suddenly rang. Watase slowly picked up the phone. A familiar voice came across the other line.
A pleasure calling you. This is Fujimoto of the Rokume City Public Welfare Division.
Hello? After the great arson, the victims of the fire have been given all sorts of accommodations by the city's Public Welfare Division. They covered Watase's transfer to another hospital and other such procedures while he was still recovering from his broken leg. The one on the phone was a sponsor in the Public Welfare Division.
Due to the effects of this incident, we at Rokume City have decided to aid the bereaved families of the victims as much as possible. In accordance with crime victim support laws, minors will be supplied with residences and welfare.
Thank you very much. Watase replied indifferently to the worker's pensive voice. After a brief silence, the worker continued in a quiet voice.
We plan to settle things so you have nothing to worry about in your life and future.
My future?
For example, you will be able to return to high school, and we shall assist you if you wish to go on to college. We shall also assist you in getting the job of your choice should you desire to be self-reliant. Do you have any plans for the future?
As soon as Watase heard that, Watsudu's words were played in his mind.
命を救うってことはその人の未来を守るってことだよ。
This isn't right. Why would Watase be angry at the communicators? It should be the opposite. Why would he want to help the people that killed Watsudu? This doesn't make any sense. Someone clearly fucked with his mind. Saving someone's life means protecting their future.
それってすごく尊いことなんじゃないかなって思って。
I just find that to be so incredibly noble. The moment he remembered those words, Watase's mouth instinctively began moving. I'll be a rescue worker. That was the only way he could even hope to repay Watsudu for saving his life. I'll fulfill Watsudu's dream. Yep. That was the moment when he decided on his path in life. Watsudu Kazusagi is a tip, with Watsudu's death as the trigger. Watase decided to become a rescue worker. A long time had passed since that day. Much like before, Natsuhiko could instinctively tell how much time had passed as if they were his own memories. Oh my god. So That's interesting, Jace. The firefighter that got to Watase at the hospital is actually his future boss, the commander of Sirius. That's super interesting, Jace.
Huh. So it's been 7 years since then.
Thing you saw was a memory of 9 years ago when Watase was 23. Watase was training his body that morning just like he did every other day. I wonder if this is when he met Kazumi. The sound of him counting push-ups echoed through the dim room.
195
Eroica hero.
196
195, 196, 197, and Watase is now fucking ripped. His breath was calm and orderly, with not a single bit of exhaustion to be found.
200.
Watase stopped once he counted 200. Watase stood alone in his room, not a bead of sweat in his face. He was living in a small apartment the city had provided with him after he'd lost his own family home. He'd been living there for almost 7 years. The same apartment he lived in throughout the time he finished up with high school and then moved on to firefighting school. In those 7 years, Rokame City had transformed to a massive research city that revolved around BC research and nuclear power, to the point where it became a government-designated top-secret city. But Watase had no time to feel uncomfortable about the rapid changes happening to the city, much less feel any loneliness. He lived only to fulfill his sister's dream. He had remodeled his body and tempered his soul to do so, and passed the notoriously difficult rescue worker exam with top marks. A rescue squad was finally established at the Rokame City Fire Department at almost the exact same time, and so he enlisted in it. At that moment, the 2 p.m. alarm rang on his watch. It was almost time for him to get to work. According to Watase's rotation schedule, he started work at 4 p.m., but Watase had a personal rule about always showing up to work early.
行くか
Time to go.
The one who spoke was no longer the lazy boy who had no purpose in life. The rescue worker with a body and will of iron left his apartment headed straight for work. He arrived at the fire station. Surely we could see his sprite now. The building he once seen with his sister was now Watase's workplace. He figured to get used to it long ago, but he still found himself remembering the day from time to time.
でも今のところ女性のレスキュー隊員っていないんだよね。
This might be where he first meets Kazumi. But there's no female rescue workers out there now, huh?
なれるものなら私がその座につきたいもんだ。
Possible I'd like to be one. Watase's heart throbbed painfully at the memory of her voice.
Maybe Watase is the one who's really working here, not me.
He couldn't exactly keep himself from feeling any hatred for the culprit. It was much healthier for him to live for the dead than to live by hating others. So what happened? He clearly didn't. For all this time, he didn't hold this. He didn't hate them. Something. Just as Watase stood thinking to himself, an ear-piercing siren suddenly interrupted his thoughts.
A dispatch!
He instantly set his thoughts aside as he focused his mind and honed his senses. His co-workers and the guys on the night shift rapidly dispersed out of the station. The commander noticed Watase and called out to him from afar.
ちょうどよかったすぐ出るぞ
Ha ha! Kasasagi! Good timing, we're heading out right now.
現状は
What's the dispatch for?
そこの団地でガス爆発だ
There was a gas explosion at that apartment over there. Ha ha!
Watase jumped on the fire truck as soon as he heard that. He listened to the radio report inside the truck as he changed into his uniform. A large-scale gas explosion accident has occurred at the Rokame Municipal Apartment Complex at 24 Higashimachi. There are residents still inside, though the exact number is uncertain. Oh. Furthermore, there is a possibility that the building will cave in or collapse entirely. firefighting squads and the elite rescue squad are to hurry to the scene and conduct firefighting and rescue efforts. The truck arrived at the scene just as the radio transmission ended.
Damn, this is bad.
Thick clouds of black smoke rose from the now burning apartment complex. The commander swiftly gave out orders to the squad members.
爆発があったのは建物の東側1階から4階部分だ。
The explosion occurred from floors 1 to 4 on the building's east side.
この部位は倒壊の危険性が高い。我々が救助を担当するのはここだ。
As such, there is a high risk of that side collapsing. This is where we'll be conducting our rescue efforts.
A チーム、笠崎、堂島は6階、檜山、松沢は5階。
Dojima and Hiyama seem normal here.
Team A will please split into 2 groups. Kasasagi and Dojima will take the 6th floor, while Hiyama and Matsuzawa will take the 5th.
B チーム、飛鳥井、岡村は4階と3階。橋野、飯田は2階と1階を担当しろ。
Likewise, Team B will also be split into 2 groups. Asukai and Okamura will take floors 4 and 3, while Hashino and Ida will take floors 2 and 1.
人命検索を行うとともに片っ端から救助。詳細は各チーム隊長から指示を仰ぐように。
Remember, we're trying to save lives here. Make sure you don't leave a single person behind. Ask your team captains for specific instructions.
それでは総員突入。
Alright then, get to work, man.
おう。
Sir, yes, sir.
The rescue workers then proceed to run into the apartment complex. Watase and his partner Dojima went around checking all the rooms on the 6th floor. There were many doors they couldn't open, likely due to the explosion. But they just broke down those doors, saved all the people inside, and continued their rescue efforts to show supreme skill. Just when they finished checking all the rooms. Uh-oh, the walkway began to slant.
It's collapsing?
まずい、笠崎、撤退だ。
Crap! Kasasagi, let's pull out! Dojima shouted to that to him from behind. They've already completely evacuated the floor they've been assigned to, so they were positive they hadn't left anyone behind. But as Watase and Dojima started fleeing, a voice called out. Who's this? Help us? Watase stopped dead in his tracks.
どうした、笠崎。
Wait, can Watase use BC? Wait, what? Kasasagi, what's wrong?
今、声が。
Oh, no, that person BC'd into him, clearly. He can't use it himself, but he can receive, yeah.
I thought I just heard a voice.
He didn't know where it was coming from, but he heard it again.
私たち303号室にいます。We're in apartment 303. 早く。
Wait, could this be June?
Hurry, the file.
It was feeble and only came out in fragments, but it was definitely the voice of someone seeking help.
That'd be the 3rd floor. Did they not search all the rooms down there? What the fuck, you assholes?
堂島、聞こえたか。303号室に人が残っている。
Dojima, did you hear that? There's still someone in apartment 303.
ああ、助けに行くぞ。
Oh, he heard it too. But yeah, it was probably like an all, it was like non-specific.
Yeah, let's go save him.
Watase and Dojima prepared to rush down the stairs. They encountered a woman who lived there on the way, forced her to evacuate, then headed for apartment 303. They kicked down the warped door and found themselves in a room with ceilings collapsed. Oh my god, well this is gonna make Watase feel very fulfilled. Rescuing this person. Flames flickered in that dim space.
Where's the survivor?
Watase looked around all around the room. Spotted a girl lying trapped into burning debris. Watase's heart leapt at the sight of that girl, momentarily overlapping Watase's death in his mind.
要救助者発見。
I've located the survivor.
Watase ran over to the girl and pulled her out of the rubble.
大丈夫か。
Are you okay?
The girl moaned in pain. She was apparently barely conscious from the lack of oxygen. She was indeed still alive. Dojima's voice suddenly called out to him.
こっちにもいるぞ。
There's another one over here. Survivors were 2 girls. Watase and Dojima each took one of the girls and ran out of the room. Oh my god, it is Baby June! Watase walked through the creaking halfways and carried the girl he found. Oh my god. Dojima was a short distance behind him carrying the other girl. The girl Watase was holding soon broke out into a pain coughing fit.
大丈夫かすぐに安全な場所に連れて行ってやるからな
Wow, she really is like a total echo of Kazumi. I mean, of Wataru. Like, she's really like, kind of like what Wataru would have been if she had lived.
Are you okay? Gonna get you to a safe place soon. Just hold on tight.
But it hurts. My back, my head, my eyes, they all hurt so much. Am I gonna die? Watase answered her tearful question in a clear
い
voice.
や安心しろ絶対に死んだりなんかしない
No, don't you worry. I'll never let you die. Never.
俺たちはレスキュー隊だ君らの命を救いに来たんだ
We're rescue workers. We came to save you guys.
俺たちが来た以上死なせなんかしない
You're right, Void Dweller. So doesn't that mean that June can use some BC? That's crazy.
We won't let you die now that we're here.
Watase said that is to convince himself of that.
Yeah. Isn't that right? What to do? A rescue worker's job is to protect others' futures. There's no way in hell I can let this little girl die!
Watase walked down the hallway as he thought that, all while carrying that small life on his back. Watase and Dojima soon safely escaped the apartment and successfully rescued the girls. They were both badly hurt, but it appeared that their lives were most likely not in any danger. The girls were put into an ambulance and taken away to the hospital. Watase watched the ambulance drive off.
Hey. Were you watching me? I protected those girls' futures. Do you think I've matured a little since those days?
Watase felt like he could hear a nostalgic voice when he thought that.
頑張ったね渡瀬
You've done so well, Watase.
お姉ちゃんはあんたを誇りに思うよ
You've made your big sis proud of you. It was probably just a figment of his imagination. But Watase looked up to the heavens and gave that voice a smile. Next memory. And then another long period of time passed when Watase helped save those girls. Oh wow, this one's like super close. So Watase was really only like hypnotized for like a year. Well, that's a relief. Oh my god.
This one's 8 years after that dispatch, huh?
Watase's life as a rescue worker continued after that day. He had more dispatches than he could count and saved many lives. It was by no means an easy life, but it was one he eventually got used to. Now, in his early 30s, he was a man of extremely sound mind that had no disturbances in his life. Ooh, Day of Wrath. Dias Irae. It was all a warm day. Watase finished his shift and took a walk around the city at dusk with his mind at total peace. There have been a lot of peaceful days like this recently with no dispatches.
Why do I feel a bit unsatisfied? I mean, I never would have dreamed there would be ever be days like this back then.
His job and co-workers had supported him all this way. Oh, among those co-workers, there were 2 of them who had similar backgrounds as Watase. There was Seiji Dojima and Kazuki Hiyama. Are we actually going to see them? Much like him, they had also lost family and loved ones in the Great Arson and had been brought up in the city. They'd also become rescue workers for similar motives and were all close in age. Three of them got along very well. He'd been blessed with co-workers who he could pour his heart out to. A job that was worth doing, and on top of that, a subordinate who loved him dearly. He'd been often thinking recently that his life wasn't so bad after all. He still lives in this little thing. Just as he returned to his apartment and finished changing his PDA ring. PDA again. Display red collar unknown. Uh-oh. Watase hesitated for a moment, then picked up the phone.
笠崎渡瀬さんだね。
Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go. Here we go.
Mr. Watase Kasasagi, I presume.
He had heard a man's voice on the other end. His voice sounded somewhat mechanical, like it was being filtered through a voice changer.
どちらさんですか？
Who is this?
名乗るほどのものじゃない。実は君にぜひ教えたいことがあって。
I'm not one to give away my name. Truth is, there's something I'd like to tell you. Huh? Me?
The man started talking dispassionately just as Watase was ready to fully write this off as a prank.
悪いが君について調べさせてもらった。
I apologize, but we looked into it. Huh?
笠崎渡瀬31歳。15年前に遭遇した6名士同時多
What's
発
this
火災
at 3831? Lost her family in the Great Rokume City arson 15 years ago.
その6名士の日頃も市営住宅。
After they were taken under the protection of Rokume City and moved into municipal housing.
高校を出た後は消防学校に入り、その卒業後、6名士消防局に入る。
You enrolled in the firefighting school and graduated high school. After that, you were assigned to Rokume City Fire Department.
すぐに頭角を現し、その2年後にはレスキュー試験に合格。シリウスを呼んだ。
You quickly stuck out amongst your peers and passed the rest of your exam 2 years later. You were listening to series.
ご家族を亡くされて大変だったとは思うが、ひねくれることなく、まっすぐに育った。
I know it must have been tough for you to lose your family, but you avoided lashing out and grew up to be an honest man.
Shivers ran down Watase's spine, for he didn't know for what reason his caller would run a background check on him.
なんだあんた、ストーカーか。
What the hell are you, some kind of stalker?
男をつけ回すとは、ずいぶん変わった趣味だな。
Stalking other men? You sure have some sick hobbies.
趣味じゃないさ。我々が君について調べたのには理由が。
It's not a hobby, it's a reason I look into you.
君はあの火災の被害者遺族だ。
It's because you're an unfortunate victim of the Great Arson.
その話をするんじゃない。他人にあれこれ言われたくはねえんだ。
Don't talk about that. I don't want to hear that kind of stuff from other people.
確かにご家族を失った心中は察するにあまりある。このことについて話したくないのは分かるが。
You're indeed probably tired of hearing people offer their sympathies for the loss of your family. I can understand why you don't want to talk about this.
ご家族の死の原因はただの放火事件じゃないと言ってたらどうする。
He's really gonna believe this asshole?
What if I told you your family didn't die because of some arson? What?
Watase gasped.
ちょっと待て。それはどういう意味だ。
Hold on, what the hell's that supposed to mean?
その前に真実を知ったらおそらく君の人生と向き合う。
Let's make one thing clear in advance. If you learn the truth, your life will probably change forever.
今の生活を大事に思うならこんなことも
If you treasure your current life, then hang up now.
それで全ては君は平穏な生活に戻る。
Okay, Morpheus. Jeez.
and everything will stay the way it is, you can go back to a peaceful life.
だがそれでも真実を知りたいならば旧六名市立病院跡に来る。
Oh god, they're gonna totally jump in.
But if you still wish to know the truth, then come to the ruins of the old Rokamei City Hospital alone.
And with those last words, the caller hung up.
Oi!
Hey! There was no response from his PDA, no matter how much he yelled at it. Watase stood in a daze for a while in his apartment.
The ruins of the old Rokamei City Hospital? What truth is he talking about? Damn it.
His desires to know the truth and his desire to keep on living in contentment were at odds in his mind. Watase eventually made his decision, dashing out of his apartment. Oh, fuckleberries. It's been 15 years since he last visited this place. The place where Wataru had lost her life. Apparently been left the way it was for all those years. Like such a big hospital that demolishing it would cost a sum that no man was willing to pay. There's no sign of anyone in the ruined hospital.
おい誰かいないのか
Hey, is anyone there?
Watase's shout simply echoed meaninglessly through the halls.
So it really was a prank.
Overcome with both irritation and relief, Watase was about to leave the ruins when he spotted something shining on the ground by the entrance.
なんだこれ
How's this?
It was a PDA. A close look at it to find the words "call in progress" were displayed on the screen. Watase picked up the PDA, a sense of unease weighing on his mind. When he did, he heard the voice of the man who called him earlier coming from the speakers.
ああ来てくれたようだね。
Hey there, looks like you really did come.
やっぱりあんたかずいぶん回りくどいいたずらをするじゃないか
So it really was you. Rather roundabout way of pranking people, and you think?
今の時点で顔を見せると様々な問題が発生する可能性があるので
Several problems could probably arise if you were to see my face. Please forgive me for resorting to this myth.
またわけのわからんことを
And again, I don't get a word you're saying.
まあいいそれより約束通り教えろよあんたの言う真実とやらをな
Whatever. Anyway, keep your damn promise and tell me that truth you were mentioning or whatever.
The man started talking in a meek voice.
2014年9月16日この町の15カ所で同時に火が放た
As you know, fires broke out simultaneously in 15 different places in the city on September 16, 2014.
それがいわゆる六名市同時多発火災
That's the event we now
多く
call
の謎が残されたままだ
the Great Rokamei City Arson. But there are many unsolved mysteries about that incident, wouldn't you agree?
あ確かに
Well, yeah, that's true.
Watase knew about that too. Was the information concerning the trials made at the incident had not been made public. Country and Rokamei City had been hounded by the media, but they hadn't got much information out of them apart from the incident was caused by an extremist group.
結論としてあの事件はコミュニケーター排斥を目論む団体が起こした一種のテロ事件だ
They claim the incident to be a kind of terrorist attack committed by a group trying to reject communicators.
情報が公開されないのは模倣犯の発生や社会的不安が起こるのを抑えるためだ
They say they kept the details away from the public to prevent copyright criminals and public unrest from rising up.
はは辻褄は合ってるなわかりやすいシナリオだ
When it all adds up, it's a rather simple story to swallow.
何が言いたい
What are you implying?
真実は逆だということさ
Truth is actually the other way around.
検挙された過激派団体はスケープゴートに過ぎない
The extremists were arrested with nothing more than scapegoats.
ある一人のコミュニケーターによって起こされた事件
The incident was actually caused by a lone communicator.
Watase doubted what he heard.
一人のコミュニケーターが起こしただと
A lone communicator did that?
バカ言えどうやって一人で市内の15カ所に同時に放火するっていうんだ
Don't be ridiculous. How the hell could a single communicator set fire to 15 separate places in the city all at once?
それは可能なんさ
It's possible.
原因となったのは桁外れの力を持つコミュニケーター
For the cause of all, this communicator possessed extraordinary power. What?
そいつはコミュニケーター A 見つかったそういう
She eventually came to be known as Communicator A.
The man began explaining the details about this communicator in a subdued
A の本
voice.
名はアリス・アントラ今から15年前にフランスからこの6名士に渡ってきた
That's a rather on-the-nose name there. Is that Subject A?
A's real name was Alison Front. She removed to Rokami City from France 15 years ago.
当時6名士は国内外からコミュニケーターの誘致を
At the time, the Rokami City government was inviting communicators from all over the world to move to the city.
勃興したばかりの BC 研究を進めるためにさまざまな実験・研究の対象となる人材が必要だった
They needed human resources for various experiments and studies in order to advance their research. Such a valuable field of BC.
I don't understand how, with even all the abilities we know of communicators, how that could be possible. The pyrokinesis is not one of the abilities. Watase remembered that. Rokami City had indeed been doing just that all those years ago.
それでフランスから呼ばれたのが
They called the water gate from France A.
A は世界で最初に発見された適精度 S のコミュニケーターだから6名士の目に留まったのだ
A was the first-rank aptitude communicator discovered in the world. That's why she got Rokami City's eye.
A は超神経の能力を BC 能力の研究開発のために引き受けた
A was shown to the PRC and became a test subject for the study and development of BC abilities.
当時はまだ BC とは遠くの人に声を届けたり人の心を読んだりする能力ということくらいしかなかった
Back then, all they knew about BC was the ability to sing a voice to a faraway person and to read others' minds.
超神経は A を被験体としてテレパシーやエンパシーの発生原理について解明した
But the PRC discovered the underlying mechanisms of telepathy and empathy through their study of A.
また A も各種の実験を通じ己の BC 能力を開発評価された
And through those experiments, A's own BC abilities developed and grew stronger.
テレパシーとエンパシーを自在に使いこなせるようになり効果範囲も広がりその力は際限なく強く
She became able to use telepathy and empathy freely. Her effective ranges grew wider, and her power just kept on growing and growing with no end in sight.
それだけなら何の問題もない
But if that was all there had been to it, there wouldn't have been any problem.
問題は
What was that?
と同時に最悪な犯罪者だったという
What was that? What was that? There was a static thingy there. I saw that. A memory was fucked with here. Something is being fucked with right now.
The problem was that A was the strongest communicator there was and the worst criminal there was.
When the men sent that, a floral scent drifted through the air from somewhere. The screen on the PDA then changed.
What's this?
It appeared to be a magazine article written in a foreign language. There were two pictures there, one of a burning building and the other of a beautiful woman. Watase felt like he had seen her somewhere before. I'm gonna say this Subject A is different from the one that had possessed Kazumi, because her hairstyle is completely different. Watase felt like he had seen her somewhere before.
2014年2月 A の故郷フランスに
She had short hair.
地元のゴシップ
I
誌
don't
の
think it's the same person.
There's a French gossip magazine article about an incident that occurred in A's hometown in February 2014.
強力な能力を持つ A は周囲の人々に疎まれている
A, with her tremendous power, was ostracized by the people around her.
Like Watase had a dream about things being on fire, but how could that set something on fire in real life?
そして A は 町に火を放った。
So one day she set fire to a town to slaughter those who had ostracized her.
Oh, I've heard that story somewhere before. Watase thought about it and then remembered. Wataru had told him about it way back when she was still alive.
実はよその国ではこの BC 絡みの事件がちょこちょこ起こってるんだって。
Well, the thing is, there have been these BC-related incidents happening from time to time in other countries.
And when they were talking, Watase had seen a blonde woman in the PRC. No way. Was that woman Communicator A? His memory was fuzzy because it happened so long ago, but he had a feeling it was right. No, Watase, no. You've got it fucking backwards. The time frame matched up and everything. The man continued as Watase
つまり
frowned.
A はふとしたことで町の人々を皆殺しにしようとする悪意の塊のような女だ。
In other words, A was simply Mary incarnate, a woman who on a whim tried to massacre every person in the city.
彼女はフランス当局に追われ、捕まる前に日本に逃げ、超神経に。
She was pursued by the French authorities, but before they could catch her, she fled to Japan, sheltered by the PRC.
それを幸いに超神経は彼女の BC 能力を開発してしまう。その真の危険性も認識せず。
Luckily for her, the PRC developed their BC abilities, without ever realizing the true danger they possessed.
何が危険だって言うんだ。
What was so dangerous about them?
知らない。BC、テレパシーは、ただ遠くの人間に声を届ける能力じゃない。
You don't know? BC, telepathy, has it just the ability to sing a voice to a far away person.
感情をも他人に伝えることができる。
You can also send your feelings to others with it.
つまり、強力な BC は他人の思考をも変えかねないということだ。
In other words, powerful BC could very well change other people's thoughts.
悪意に満ちた彼女の思考が周囲に無差別に垂れ流されたらどうなる。
So what do you think would happen if someone filled with as malice as A, were to indiscriminately let her thoughts loose on everyone around her?
その思考に応じ、人々の心の中の悪意が刺激される。
Those thoughts would bring out the malice that lurks in the hearts of every man.
まるでウイルスのように彼女が抱えた悪意が周囲のあらゆる人に伝染している。
The malice would spread to everyone around her like a virulent disease.
これがどれだけ危険なことであるか、
I don't know, man. Like, for just people to randomly set fires like that, like, you're making a lot of assumptions yourself in your own story, dude.
Now you understand just how dangerous it is, don't you?
You're making a lot of assumptions without even anything for Watase to look at to back it up. Watase was rendered speechless. He just silently continued to listen to the man.
超神経の研究者たちはただの犯罪者を正真正銘の怪物に育て上げてしまったんだ。
The researchers at the PRC raised an ordinary criminal into a bona fide monster.
遅まきながら A の危険性に気がついた研究者たちは彼女が街の外に出ないよう監視していた。
The researchers realized how dangerous A was far too late and set up surveillance to keep her from wandering out to the city.
2014年9月16日、A は施設から脱走。
But on September 16, 2014, A escaped from the facility.
脱走ってそんなことしたら。
Escaped? Then you mean she...
そう。あの世 A の悪意に満ちた思考は街中に垂れ流された。
Yes, A spread a malice-laced thoughts throughout the city all throughout that night.
そして街に住む人々の心にも何らかの影響を与えた。
Sorry, I knocked the microphone.
Those thoughts influenced the minds of the people who Rokume City in some way.
とりわけ悪意を多く抱えた犯罪者予備軍と呼べる人々は悪意を爆発的に増幅される。
This caused the already high levels of malice that they would be criminals to spike to the roof.
街に火を放った。
and led them to setting the city on fire.
これが六名士同時多発火災の真相。
This is the truth behind the great Rokame City arson.
The man declared all of that in a clear voice. It can't be. Watase noticed that his hands had started shaking. He's saying a single woman became the trigger behind the incident? Oh, another memory thing. Another thing. The story was sudden and difficult to believe, but the man spoke in an unwaveringly serious voice, leaving no room for doubt. I'd say there's plenty of room for doubt. He didn't provide a shred of evidence. Watase remained silent as the man
これ
continued.
は超神剣の不祥事。ひいては超神剣を運営している六名士の不祥事。
This was a scandal for the PRC, and consequently a scandal for Rokame City government. The ones managing the PRC,
連中はそれを認めよう。
but they won't admit to that.
I don't know, dude. Sounds like a 4chan post.
事件の真相は六名士によって A の存在ごと隠蔽されることになる。
Rokame City had the truth behind the incident along with the existence of A.
A は極秘に超神剣に連れ戻され、またも地下室に隠蔽された。
It's like there's clearly some knowledge of things here, but you're not even providing Watase with any evidence. Exactly, Guffy Force.
A was taken back to the PRC and uprooted secrecy and confined in a basement of sorts again.
その一方で町外れにラボが建設された。そしてそれが完成すると同時に A の身柄は超神剣からラボに移送された。
In the meantime, lava was constructed on the outskirts of the city. Once it was completed, A was transferred from the PRC to Labo.
どうしてラボに？
Why lava?
ラボは原子力研究所だろ。なんでコミュニケーターがそんなところに移送されて？
That's a nuclear research facility, isn't it? Why would they send a communicator there?
いや、ラボは原子力研究所などではない。BC の研究所なのだ。
Okay, so they knew what this was.
No, Labo is no nuclear research facility. It's actually a BC research facility.
バカな。そんな話聞いたこともない。
Yeah, that's what I feel, Void Dweller. Impossible. I never heard anything about that.
当然だ。この町最大の秘密だ。
Of course not. The city's biggest secret.
だがおかしいと思ったことはないか。新規の原子炉を建造するには越えなければならないさまざまなハードルがある。
But those are the constraints. There are many hurdles you have to overcome to create a new nuclear reactor.
厳しい建設基準のクリア、法的な問題、市議会への根回し、それらをスピーディーに解決し、ラボの建設はなされた。
You have to clear strict construction standards and legal problems. Then make the necessary arrangements with the city council. Yet all those conditions were cleared quickly and Labo was built.
I don't know. If I was in Watase's place, I would pretend to agree with him and wait until he gives me enough information to feel like he trusts me and then hand that over to the authorities.
なぜそのハードルを軽々と超えてラボが建設された。
That's what I would do, at least. Because he's not giving a shred of evidence. He's just asking all these leading questions.
Why was Labo able to easily overcome these hurdles and get built in the first place?
Because this is, you know what this is sounding like. This is sounding like, you know, some of the things that Reno was saying in Sumi Haraboshi when she had ideas based on, you know, the research that, yeah, they were half-truths, but she had zero context behind what was going on. And, like, definitely not enough to form a proper realization of what was happening.
Why was Labo easily able to overcome these hurdles to get built in the first place?
答えはラボ。本当は原子炉など抱えていない。原子力研究所ではなく、BC の研究所だから。
The answer is simple. Because Labo doesn't actually have a nuclear reactor. Because it's a BC research facility. Not a nuclear research facility.
The common sense Watase thought to be true up until this point was gradually being rewritten. The man waited a moment for Watase to respond, then
それ
continued.
でも立ちはだかった唯一の問題は市民の感情
But the one problem that stood in their way were the sentiments of the townspeople.
当然ながら人々の原子力に対する抵抗感は凄まじい
Their antipathy toward nuclear power was overwhelming, as you might expect.
しかし市は人々に真に安全な原子力利用の実現は資源が枯渇しつつある日本にとって必要不可欠だと説明し
But the city explained to civilians the implementation of truly safe nuclear power is essential to Japan, and our resources are drying up.
Oh, all I'm doing, Devon Beagle, is just cupping my hands over my mouth. You could try it too. See, this is I'm just cupping my hands over my mouth.
And then I'm doing this voice.
Like that. Like
市民たちも最終的にはそれを受け入れた
Which led to the townspeople finally accepting their decision.
that's all I'm doing, just cupping my hands over my mouth. Watase remembered the turmoil of that time. Watase had been 18 years old at the time, but as he had just enrolled in firefighting school, he hadn't had much of a reaction to all the fuss over. Other than, well, I guess the city's got to do what it's got to do.
だがその流れの全てが悪連盟の試され
But that series of events was all recovered.
誰もが原子力に対しては反発したがラボが BC の研究所であんなところ
It's what I did for the Three Kings in Sakonia.
Everyone was opposed to nuclear power, but no one suspected that Labo was actually a BC research facility.
So where actually does the city get their power? That's something I want to know.
そして原子力研究の危険性と機密性を盾に市民たちをラボから遠ざけることに成功した
Hilarious, Devon Beagle.
And they used the dangers and confidentiality of nuclear power research, but as a pretext to successfully keep the townspeople far away from the lab.
じゃ六名士の連中は人々の反発感情さえも利用したのか
So you mean the guys behind Rokume City even used the townspeople's feelings of opposition to their advantage?
それは人間として許されないことだろう
That's something no person should be allowed to do.
それはさまつなことじゃ研究のためにより良い方法をそれだけが彼らの行動権
Such of trivial importance to the people of Lab. Their only moral code to take the best possible action for their research.
そん
No way.
ともあれそうしてラボは完成した
At any rate, Lab was then completed.
しかもただの研究施設ではない A のような危険なコミュニケーターを幽閉するための施設でもある
And it's no ordinary research facility either. It's also a facility for keeping dangerous communicators like A locked up.
ラボの地下深くには居住区があるそこに A は閉じ込められている
As a residential area of sorts deep beneath Lab, that's where they confined A.
待て A は法で裁かれなかったのか
Wait, wasn't A put on trial?
なぜそうまでして六名士は A をかくまったんだ
Why would Rokume City shelter A after all she did?
決まっているじゃん
It's obvious.
6名士がそれだけの事件を起こした A をなおも研究材料にしようとした
I mean, doesn't that sound like that sounds like a punishment to me from that perspective?
It's so they could keep using A as a lab rat after she had caused a huge incident.
What?
事件の真相が明るみになれば6名士も超神経の責任を負ったさ
I don't know. Watase is just swallowing this without seeing a shred of evidence.
The Rokume City government and the PRC will be forced to take responsibility for the truth behind the incident to ever come to light.
だったら事件を丸ごと闇に 葬り別の場所でまた研究を進めればいい。6名士の連中はそう考えた。
So the people behind Rockaway City figure they should cover the whole thing up, continue their research in another location.
その日からコミュニケーター A は被験体 A と呼ばれるようになり、ラボ内で BC 能力の研究開発に参加した。
Thus, communicator A became to lean on the subject A from that day onwards and participated in Labo's BC ability research and development.
一方、役目を終えた超新店は単なるダミー施設だ。
Meanwhile, with the PRC having served its purpose, it was turned into a mere dummy facility.
ラボ内で密かに行われた BC 研究の成果は超新店を通じて発表される。
The result of the BC research secretly conducted at Labo published through the PRC.
そうすれば誰もラボが BC 研究所だなんて思わない。こうして完璧な隠蔽体制が完成した。
That way, no one was supposed to expect Labo was a BC research center, and thus their perfect cover-up system was completed.
ラボも超新店もどちらも支援施設だ。元をたどれば全ては6名士の参加にあり、緊密に連携しているのさ。
Both Labo and the PRC are government-managed facilities. Trace them back to their source, and you'll find that therefore all closely connected under the jurisdiction of Rokume City.
Watase thought things over through as calmly as possible. Despite the agitation causing his insides to tremble, he wanted to make sure there weren't any inconsistencies in what the man was saying.
いや、待て。
No, hold on.
普通に考えてそこまでするか。当事者たちは誰もその流れを止めようとしなかったのか。
Is that really all there is to it? When you think about it normally, wouldn't someone in on the whole thing have tried to stop the whole chain of events?
しなかったんだよ。当時6名士は BC 研究に力を入れようとした矢先だったからね。
What Watase should be asking is why should I believe you?
They didn't. You see, back then, Rokume City was all about focusing their efforts into BC research.
君も覚えていると思うが、当時の日本は経済的、産業的に行き詰まりを見せていた。
I think you'll remember this too, that Japan was showing signs of being an economic and industrial deadlock back in those days.
そこに現れた BC という新技術。
And the new technology known as BC showed up right there and then.
その可能性にかけた6名士の連中は、あらゆる障害を排してでも BC の技術開発を推し進めようとした。
The guys behind Rokume City bet on that possibility and pressed forward with their BC technological development, even when pushing every obstacle in their way aside.
何のメリットがあって。
What did they have to gain from that?
あらゆる先進的技術は巨万の富を生み出す可能性があるからさ。
All of their advanced technology has the potential to earn them riches beyond your wildest dreams.
まして BC という技術は世界中の誰もが手をつけていない正真正銘の新技術。
BC is genuinely new technology that no one else in the world has invested in.
I don't know, dude. How can you go about proving that she did that? Like, that she really, like...
日本が世界に先んじて研究を進めれば、その分野のトップに立てる。
If Japan beat the rest of the world to the punch in its research, they put them at the top of that field.
事実テレパシーは精神医学の分野などに応用できるし、
The fact is that telepathy can be applied to the field of psychiatry.
テレパシーに至っては利用価値は計り知れない。産業、政治、軍事といったあらゆる分野での諜報活動だね。
But empathy has nearly countless potential uses. It can be used for secret intelligence gathering all sorts of fields like industry, politics, and the military.
かくして新たな利権の構造が生まれ、当事者たちはその利権を守ることに貢献した。都合の悪い子は隠蔽してた。
Thus was involved with a system based on their new interests and grew obsessed with doing whatever it was to protect those interests, even meant covering up anything inconvenient for them.
そして君もまたその被害に遭った一人なんです。
And you are yet another victim of those efforts.
俺が？
I am.
6名士同時多発火災の際の死者
118 people died in the Great Rogame City arson.
その被害者遺族たちは手厚く保護され、生活、進学、就労まで便利を図る。
The bereaved families of the victims were given courteous patronage and granted assistance with their lives, moving on to college and finding jobs.
住居は公営住宅が与えられ、多くの者は君と同じく公務員となった。
Many others like you were given homes and public housing and became civil servants.
しかし、奇妙に思ったことはないか。なぜ単なる地方自治体がそれほどまでに被害者遺族に気を使うのか。
But don't you find that strange? Why would a simple local government go so far in taking the bereaved families of the victims into consideration?
その目的は被害者遺族が死の膝元に置き、動向を監視することだ。
Their goal was to take the bereaved families in the city's wing and keep a close eye on how they develop from there.
バカだ。
That can't be!
信じられない。ああ、そうだろう。では、我々が入手した資料を。
Having trouble believing it? Well, I don't blame you. I'll send you some documents we've obtained.
それを見て、僕の言葉が正しいかどうか判断してくれ。
Take a look at them and decide for yourself if what I'm saying is true.
An email with an attachment was sent to the PDA right after the man said that. Watase opened the email and checked the contents of the file. There are various documents that supported the man's claims. Photo of Labo's interior that showed that Labo was no nuclear power research center. Photo of an email sent from Labo to the PRC. This email proved that a BC insulator that Labo had developed was publicly announced something from the PRC. Subject A's data. A lot of the data in this one had been deleted, but the main did confirm that Labo had indeed confined a communicator called that. All sorts of other documents were there, each one supporting the idea of what the man had said was true. So when he finished reading all of it, Watase muttered in a stunned voice. Yeah, he's leaving a lot of shit out. He is leaving a lot of shit out. But I'm saying that that's because of what we know from the other routes. Clearly a lot of shit is left out. Like the hard evidence that she was the direct cause of this incident.
Is what you're telling me really true?
That's the most important part of this. If they had something like that, wouldn't they have shown him? Like some kind of report on that.
信じがたいだろうし、信じたくもない。
It is, so it must not be easy to believe, nor it's something you would want to believe.
改めて考えてみたまえ。この町の異常さを。情報統制や人民監視が平然と行われているじゃない。
But think back on how normal this city is. They control information and conduct surveillance on their own townspeople without batting an eye, right?
こんな町にはどんな信じられないことも起こり得る。
Anything is possible in this city, no matter how unbelievable it may sound.
Watase was taken aback at those words. The city had grown to do all sorts of things that would normally be considered violation of human rights, on supposed grounds that Rokame City was a government-designated top-secret city. They were setting up surveillance cameras all over the city. City gates to control the coming and going of townspeople. System database that only certain people were allowed to access. Townspeople have been opposed to the creation of every single one of them, but their complaints eventually died down. Security cameras and so on were implemented little by little. Before they knew it, all these things had become like air to the townspeople. Oh, the townspeople had gotten used to those abnormalities. Watase felt chills running through him when it hit him just how strange the whole thing was. Since it wasn't directly related to them, no one thought about it seriously. And there's all sorts of things that couldn't be undone, had gone forward without him even noticing it.
何か
So what are you saying?
俺の家族は六名士と超神剣が作り上げた怪物のせいで死んで
Now he said all that it said in the documents was that there was a subject A that existed and that was being kept in Labo. There was nothing saying how she was directly responsible for the fire. And that is the most important thing, is
My family died because of that monster built up by the Rokume City government and the PRC?
なのに当の6名士は一切責任を取らず
Yet at the same time, the Rokume City government hid their crimes and never took responsibility.
そして俺は何も知らないままその6名士に金もらって今日までぬくぬく暮らしてたってわけか
And received money from that very same government and lived a comfortable life? Up until today without knowing a damn thing?
Unfortunately, that's exactly it.
君は家族の仇である6名士に育てられ6名士の公務員として働いている
You were raised by the government responsible for your family's death, but were working for them as a civil servant.
Watase let out a wordless scream. His blood boiled and deep red filled his vision.
ふざけるな
Fuck that!
被験体 A はどうなったんだ奴はラボの中で今も生きてるのか
What happened to Subject A? Is she still living in Labo?
No, she died.
何
What?
原因の一翼を担う A はラボ内で人体実験に使われそして
After causing that incident, A was used by Labo as a human test subject and then died just a year after she'd been confirmed.
おそらく無残な死に方をしたのだろう A も所詮は6名士による悪事の被害者に過ぎないはず
Wouldn't he have wanted her to die, though? I mean, that seems like a pretty harsh punishment.
She probably died a cruel death. In the end, A too was nothing more than a victim of Rokume City's wrongdoings.
Now you're kind of arguing in circles, dude. First you're saying she's this monster responsible, and now you're saying she's a victim. Y'all gotta make up your mind here. A sense of emptiness filled Watase's body. Having immediately lost the target of his hatred, he switched it over to a new one.
その後6名士はどうしたんだ
What happened with the Rokume City government after that?
A が死に貴重な被験体を失ったラボはそれからどうしてるんだ
What happened with Labo after they lost their valuable test subject due to A's death?
新たな被験体を拉致して
More static.
医師の研究を続けている
They abducted new test subjects and used them to continue their BC research.
Floral scent filled the air yet again at the moment. Yeah, what the fuck is that? What is that?
この町に住むコミュニケーターたちその中で特に優れた能力を持つ者はラボに入居され被験体にされる
Of all the communicators who live in Rokume City, those who possess particularly superb abilities are confined in labo and related test subjects.
そして A のような怪物がまた一人増えた
I'm sure more monsters like A have been growing in number one by one.
何のためにそんなことを
Why would they ever do something like that?
目的の一つは当然ながら BC の研究
One of their goals is naturally to study BC.
そしてもう一つは一種の生物兵器を作る
And the other one is to create a kind of biological weapon.
生物兵器だと
Did you say a biological weapon?
A の事例は単なる事故だが別の視点から見ると怪物化したコミュニケーターは面白い使い方だ
The incident with A was merely an accident. If you look at it from another angle, you'll find that communicators with monsters can use in interesting ways.
例えば敵国の首都に怪物化したコミュニケーターを一人送り込む
For example, let's say you send one of them into a capital of an eminent enemy nation.
するとどうなると思う
What do you think would happen next?
その都市の住人は悪意を増幅され治安は悪化し街は
They amplified the malice of the city's residents, leading to mass chaos and destruction.
かつて6名して起きたことを任意に起こせるようになる
Precisely. They could intentionally cause the same thing that happened in Rokume City 15 years ago.
数日もそのまま放置しておけば街中で放火や犯罪行為が蔓延し犯罪者は繁殖し治安は回復不能になる
If left alone for a few days, arson and crime will spread through the whole city. Criminals will run rampant. And public order would likely be impossible to restore.
だが攻撃された側は
But the attack party wouldn't even realize they'd been attacked.
何しろこの生物兵器の肝は人の心を荒廃させることになる。
But the core concept behind this biological weapon is that it devastates people's minds.
国土にはダメージを与えず、国民にのみダメージを与える。まさに新時代の兵器さ。
A weapon that only damages the country's citizens without actually damaging the country itself. Truly a weapon of the new era.
しかし六名士はたかだか地方自治体じゃないか。なんでそんな真似を。
But isn't Rokame City just a local government? What would drive them to do that?
実は六名士と懇意にしているとある外資系企業
Hilarious, cheers.
Truth is, the Rokame City government has this intimate relationship with a certain foreign company.
表向きは製薬会社だが、その内実は武器商社。いわゆる死の商人。
Oh my god, are they gonna bring the fucking live lick? Are they gonna bring live lick into this?
On the outside, it's a pharmaceutical company, but behind the facade, they're an arms dealer. Merchant of death, as the term goes.
Is it live lick?
そこから依頼を受け、そんなまがまがしいことを行う。
Almost all the sinister research being carried out is done at their request. But no one's realized this. No one could talk or about or leak this.
真実は闇から闇に消え、隠蔽は永遠に続く。
The truth will forever continue to be covered up and vanish into the deepest darkness.
そうか。
I see.
六名士
So Rokame City.
は渡るたちの仇をまた作ろうとしてるのか。
Trying to create more of those monsters responsible for Watase and our parents' deaths. Ooh, more static. Flames of rage burned up within Watase. He sealed those pitch black flames deep within his chest and continued.
また俺にこんなことを知らせてどうするってんだ。
Hey, let me ask you something. What do you gain from telling me all this?
俺に何をさせたいんだ。
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, this is like this very effective manipulation right here.
逆に聞こう。君はどうしたいのか。
Yeah, ooh, wow. Whoever this dude is, he is very good at manipulating people.
Let me reverse the question. What do you want to do?
カササギ渡せ。君の心に聞こう。真実を知った今、
What to say,
つまり
Kata-san?
暗冥の中に戻れば。
I ask this straight to your heart. Now that you know the truth, can you return to that false peace?
聞かせてくれ。君の本当
Tell me your true feelings.
Watase's heart pounded loudly at that request.
Can I keep on living the same carefree life now that I know the truth?
The Rokame City government had killed his sister and parents, twisted his life. On top of that, they'd hidden the truth and forced him to live an unknowing lie for 15 years. Watase had pushed his hatred of the culprit of the incident into the deepest corners of his heart by following his sister's dream. But the truth was, a certain desire he'd secretly held all these years.
I
ハグ渡ると同じ目に合わせてやりたかった。
wanted to make the culprit go through the same pain Wataru did.
渡るとは確か君のお姉さんだった。
Yes. What to do was your sister, correct?
Yeah.
あいつは本当にいいやつだったんだ。
She was such a good person.
弱っちいけど一生懸命でバカだけど
She was weak but motivated. Stupid but gentle.
Tears poured out of Watase's eyes when he said that. Watase loved Wataru. He hated it when he would taken her away from him forever from the bottom of his heart. But everything about that culprit, including her very existence, had been concealed by the Rokame City government. If possible, he would have very much liked to tear A limb from limb, but that was no longer an option. That left the Rokame City government as the only target for Watase's hatred and anger.
なあ
Hey,
復讐を望むのは恥ずべきことか。
should I feel ashamed about wanting revenge?
No, let the hate flow through you.
人の命を救う仕事をしている俺がそんなことを望んでもいいのか。
Is it okay for me to want revenge when it's my job to save lives?
俺は六名士の連中を憎んでもいいのか。
Is it okay for me to hate the bastards running Rokame City?
もちろん
Of course.
The man's answer was clear and
家
blunt.
族の敵をそれは人間として自然なことだ。
It's only human for you to hate your family's killer.
そしてその気持ちがあるのであれば
And if you truly feel that way,
君は僕らの同志になりうる。
then you can become one of us. A comrade.
Watase heard footsteps coming from behind at the moment. Watase turned around in surprise. I knew it! I fucking knew it! Oh, you guys! You fucking guys! Oh my god! You guys made fun of me so much for thinking Okita was evil! For saying Okita was evil! He's a fucking bastard is what he is! I fucking knew it! Only to see a man standing there, judging from the fact that I was holding a PDA like even the one talking to Watase just now. Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Fucking hell! I told you! I told you! Jeez! I'm surprised he's that high up. He's just a... Oh my god! I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it! Fucking knew it!
あんたは
Who are you?
僕か。僕はラボの研究員。
Me? I'm a researcher at Labo.
The man put his PDA away and answered.
だが君と同じくラボと六名士を憎むものさ。
But I too hate Labo and Rokame City. Much like you.
I fucking knew it! What? A whistleblower, that term passed through Watase's head. He sent pictures of Labo and data about test subject just minutes ago. Only someone on the inside could have obtained those things.
だが同志になりうるっていや僕らっていうのはどういう意味だ。
But what do you mean by become one of us? Or what do you mean by us?
僕はねラボの現役研究員であると同時に
You
あ
see,
る
while I
団体に
work
所属しているんださ。
as a researcher for Labo, I'm also a member of a certain organization.
ある団体だと。
What organization?
15年前の同時多発火災の際逮捕された過激派団体だよ。
The extremist organization was arrested for the Great Arson 15 years ago.
幽閉されたコミュニケーター A の代わりに犯人の汚名を着せられたね。
The ones who were branded as criminals instead of Communicator A.
Watase was astonished.
まさかあんたらテロリストか。
Wait, you guys are terrorists?
テロリストね。確かに権力に立ち向かう者というの
Fucking knew it! You guys are all like, oh, you know how dare you just think Okita is evil? I fucking knew it! You guys, this is Annie and things all over again! I fucking knew it!
Terrorists, huh? It's true that those who stand up against authority have been frequently called by that term.
言葉を飾るな。お前らのやることは所詮は破壊活動だろ。
Quit mincing words. What you guys do is commit acts of destruction, plain and simple.
God, exactly, Watase. How is what they do any different from what Subject A did?
超神剣に爆弾でも仕掛けるのか。そんなのは俺たちの仕事が増えるだけで。
You're the ones who set up bombs at the PRC before, weren't you? All you've done is give us that much more work to do.
待て。僕も好き好んで過激派団体などに所属しているわけではない。
Hold on. It's not like I'm a member of this extremist organization as I want to be.
Well, I mean, huh?
革命士に対抗するためには他に頼れる組織が存在しないというだけ。
Seriously, dude?
There's just no other organization out there I can count on to oppose Rokame City. That's all there is to it.
Seriously, dude? Seriously?
何？ そんなの警察とかいくらでも。
What? But can't you just tell the police to...
警察はダメだ。これほどの大規模な隠蔽が行われている以上、警察も6名士の息がかかっていると考えた方がいい。
Won't work. Considering the fact that they've been able to keep such a large-scale cover-up running for so long, it's best to assume Rokami City has the police in their pocket.
情報規制が行われているのを見るに、マスコミも全く当てにならん。
And when you look at how much information control is going on, that leaves the media out of the picture too.
では個人で立ち向かう。不可能だ。かつてそれを試みた者もいたが、事故に見せかけて殺された。
And before you suggest standing up to them by myself, that's out of the question too. Someone tried that once and they got murdered in a way that looked like an accident.
それでもなお僕は真実を明るみに出して、
But despite all that, I want to reveal the truth.
この町の全てを敵に回してでも、ラボの悪事を白日のもとにさらしたいんだ。
I want to bring Labo's wrongdoings to light, even if it means making an enemy of the entire city.
なぜそこまで。
Why are you going so far?
君にそうする動機があるように、僕にも戦う理由があるのさ。
Much like you, I also have reason to fight.
もう分かった。なぜ僕が君にこんな話をしたか。
You should understand by now I told you all this.
僕らは今、6名士とラボに痛烈な打撃を加える計画をなっている。
My comrades and I are currently formulating a plan to deal a crippling blow to Rokami City and Labo.
その計画を遂行するにあたって、君の力が欲しいんだ。
And we need your help to carry out this plan.
俺の力。
You need me?
もちろん断るのは自由だ。
You're free to refuse, of course.
そして今聞いた話を警察にでも言えば、僕はテロリストとして逮捕されるだろう。
If you then proceed to go to the police and tell them everything you just heard, I will likely be arrested as a terrorist.
もっとも、警察の前にラボの連中に捕まり、殺されるかもしれんがね。
Though perhaps Labo will get to me before the police can and kill me.
君に顔を見せ、素性をも晒したことは、僕にとっても賭けだったんだよ。
I'm taking a huge risk by showing you my face and telling you all about my background.
だが僕は、君が同志になってくれると信じたい。
But I'd like to believe that you'll become one of our comrades.
先ほど君が語った亡きお姉さんに向けた言葉が本当だと信じたいんだ。
Yeah, that's some reverse psychology thing right there.
I want to believe all the things you said about your deceased sister just minutes ago were true.
Manlin looked at Watase dead in the eye.
今なら君は後戻りできる。すべて忘れて。
This is hilarious considering what he did to Watase and Route A.
You can still turn back now. You can bet everything and return to your normal life.
だが、もし僕らと共に6名士と戦う気持ちがあるの
But if you want to fight Rokami City alongside us,
同志になる。
then become one of us.
Watase looked the man back in the eye. After a long silence, he finally answered.
あんたらの組織の名
What's the name of your organization?
前。
Q.
この欺瞞に満ちた世界に、厳然たる問いを突きつけるものだ。
We're the ones who pose the unrelenting questions to this insidious world.
Yeah, sure, you totally don't want to be a part of this organization. After developing a tagline after saying a tagline like that. Totally involuntary. Natsuhiko was shocked about the memory you've just seen.
I see. So that's why Watase hates communicators so much. And now I know that it was Mr. Ukito who led Watase down the path of evil.
He had suspicions for a while, but now we knew for sure that Ukito was also a fucking terrorist. I knew it!
But Mr. Ukito and Watase are making a grave misunderstanding. Yuri was a test subject, but she never turned into a monster. Communicator A may have been indeed been a dangerous being. But Labo, as it is now isn't creating any monsters. And of course, there's no way in hell that absurd story about them creating biological weapons is true either.
And that meant that Watase's descent into terrorism was all based on misunderstanding. The more of Watase's memories he saw, the stronger the pain in Natsuhiko's heart grew. He kept on viewing those memories to learn the truth. His next memory to appear was an event that took place exactly 1 month later. Name of the man who... Okay, you guys. I think this is a good spot to save for next time. We are getting into the thick of it now. Woo! Oh my god. Wow, yeah, that stream went on a bit longer than I thought it would. But diggity dang to dang. This story's getting hyped up. I really want to see where this goes. Okay, let's see. Today is Friday, so that means this will continue on Tuesday. And we'll have more trails on Sunday. So until then, I will say, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. Oh, really? You didn't expect me to get to this scene? Well, I did. Because this story is fucking amazing. Y'all are the sweetest of hearts. See ya.